So I think advertisers can rethink reach where instead of focusing on reaching the masses, really focusing on prioritizing quality interactions. It's important to get in front of the right people and with the right message, but I almost think it's more important to find them at the right time and in the right way. That way, the consumer is ready to engage and be more open to receiving your brand message. So, when we think about like where we want to run your media and advertisers thinking where they want to run their media, it's important to think about the overall user experience of them seeing your ad and not just like a spray and pray approach of trying to get as many like eyeballs as possible. So things we do to focus on this across our accounts overall is like having brand safety in place, SPO, just to ensure that we are running across quality inventory in the most direct way. And this is something we've standardized across the company overall. Frequency caps, I think that's pretty standard, but just making sure we're avoiding ad collision or over serving our message to a user across the funnel, since we're running across a handful of channels. And then another key part is just like building partnerships with publishers in the space who support quality media and interactions along their content will all help to achieve this.
So, how does a more empathetic ad experience contribute to loyalty, stronger lifetime loyalty?
Yeah, so I think as we all know, since we're all consumers in the field, no one likes to have a poor user experience with ads. So whether that's seeing pop-up ads or seeing way too many display banners on the page, whether that's ad clutter or the same brand having like multiple ads on a page, or even just seeing an ad that's not relevant to you, if a person's experience in seeing that is poor, it will likely leave a negative view of the brand with them or a negative connotation. Where, on the other hand, if advertisers and publishers are able to make the ad experience more enjoyable and relevant for a user, it'll up your chances of making a greater impact on them. And could even be more inclined to engage with the brand by maybe going to the site and making a purchase or signing up, which at the end of the day helps with our business goals as well. This is something we've actually been able to see firsthand on my brand, where we've partnered with some key publishers where we might be paying a bit more of a premium on the media that we're running, but we know like the inventory we're running on is good, the overall ad experience is good. So in doing so, we've been able to drive incremental sales and revenue for our brand. And a perfect example of something we did in order to achieve this is with our partnership with Wonderkind, where we've been able to run across their supply and utilize their custom ad units where people have disengaged from the content that they're browsing. And from this has helped drive performance metrics across the funnel for us.
What role do you see transparency playing for building consumer trust?
Yeah, so transparency is something that I feel is needed across the media ecosystem as a whole in order to really build consumer trust and loyalty, and kind of has a trickle down effect and like plays a key part with one another. So as someone with a media background, where my head first goes with that is how transparency is needed between agencies and publishers. We need to be able to understand like what we're actually buying on behalf of our clients and just ensure we're putting our brands in the best place in order to achieve their business outcomes. But then laddering off of that, I also think transparency is important and needed between agencies and brands, with agencies being open with brands about what we're buying, where we're running, the metrics we're seeing. But that stems from the transparency from the publishers. And then lastly, I also think transparency is key between agencies, consumers, from the brands, where brands should be open and straightforward with their values, what they stand for, what their goals are that they want to achieve. That way, both the consumer can feel connected with the brand outside of just their product offering. And then so agencies can also put them in the right places in order to make sure they're making it the most effective for them to achieve their business outcomes.
Advertisers are really leaning into the performance driven tactics. So, how do you protect the user experience?
Yeah, so I really see the two of these going hand in hand with how things have shifted in the market. So, especially for performance focused marketers and brands, like you want to make sure you're making a good first impression on consumers. That way, they're more inclined to take that action for you and like remember your brand in a positive light. So, For my team and my account, we're held to driving ROAS and sales for our client. And by doing so, we used to buy purely open exchange media, and we've started to shift more to a direct deal and partnership level and focusing on building out our key partnerships with publishers. So by doing so, this has allowed us to still align with the content and people that we want to reach, but in a more direct way and still hit our business outcomes, which has been great. So the shift has come with higher costs in our media, which we've seen, but despite the higher costs with our buys, it is returning in a more qualified user, which then gives us a higher basket size and then helps have more return on your media. So the shift in approach of making sure we're getting in front of people in a more quality way, less intrusive way, does come with a higher cost, but has resulted in a higher end goal for us.